I've been muted. I'm so sorry. Wow, that's annoying. I've had a software issue that has been pretty annoying to deal with, and I just got it figured out today. But my setup is a little bit different. That's okay. I don't mind. We're adapting. So yeah, here we are. This is a mockup called The Ocean. It's from my own collection of Photoshop mockups that I've had for years, like 8, 9, 10 years. And I just thought, it would be great to go through and build out some of these mockups. So that's what we're doing. We have the header, the navigation, this 3 card hero. Last weekend we got the main content area on the left hand side styled and looking pretty good. Nothing is really responsive yet. Just haven't gotten to that. It's something that I tend to do absolutely last. Um, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. I tend to do several passes. I have a very top to bottom approach when I'm doing front ends. I start at the top, I work my way down, and I kind of take several passes. That's just how I think of it. We got to the first part of the sidebar. So you can see here we have About Me, Newsletter, and then these are the articles. So here's About Me, here's Newsletter, and now here's Articles or Latest Posts, I think it's called. So we'll get this title in there, and then we'll go ahead and style these are I'm not currently a WordPress developer. I started my career as a WordPress developer. So this is very, I know why I bought this. I bought this in 2016. I bought it because I was a WordPress developer, and this is a blog. This is classic blog sidebar, classic WordPress sidebar. So let's go ahead and get back to our code editor. There we go. And we'll get our H3 in there. I'm just going to copy it from here. All right, latest posts. And I think I'm going to need to put a container. Oh, and Emilio is here. Hope you have a wonderful stream. Due to my partner having medical issues, I haven't been able to watch your streams lately. I hope to be able to start watching them soon. Oh, Emilio, I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish you and your partner all the best. That is rough. And you don't owe me any explanation, but can I tell you how sweet it is that you that you come and first of all say such kind things and feel like you have to give me an explanation. You absolutely don't, but honestly, um I will send you and your partner some positive vibes out into the universe that things start to improve for you guys. And anytime at all that you want to come and spend with me, you always have a place here. I hope you know that, because I think you're so sweet and I love having you. So I appreciate any time you can spend hanging out with me. Let's see here. hope you have a great stream, and I hope everyone enjoys your content as much as I do. Well, I do too. I hope it as well. Oh, and Nano Akia is here. I still feel like I'm not saying that quite right. Um, Let me see, where's my head? There we go. I still think I might not be saying that correctly, but you haven't told me I'm not saying it correctly. So welcome. I'm so happy to have you, Emilio and Nano Akia. Of course, I love you guys. Let's see here. I'm zooming in on the wrong. There we go. Okay, let's zoom back in here. Oh, my gosh, why am I having so many issues today? Here we go. Okay. I say it fine. Okay, good. Thank you. Good, good, good. Appreciate that. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Allergies. Okay, here we are. So let's I really here's my goal for today because um I actually don't think I'm like super slow at doing front end, but I am surprised sometimes at what I think I can get done during a live stream. It's usually never as much as I think it should be. So I'm going to set a realistic goal for today, which is that we finish the sidebar and we finish the footer. Those are the goals. And then we'll see where we're at time wise. If it's getting to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll decide if I want to wait and finish during the, if I want to go back and revisit the header. Because after the sidebar and the footer, it's really getting in our search drawer and doing our navigation. Although I would admit it'd be nice to at least start working on that navigation today. That in theory shouldn't take me that long, but let's finish up this sidebar. So I know I'm pretty sure that I need to get a container around. Oh, and I put this in the wrong spot. Maybe that's why I feel so confused right now. Yeah, okay. So here's the latest posts. We'll get our H3 in here, but I think that I need to get a container for Flexbox around all of these articles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's get a div here. And I'm going to give this just a class of latest posts wrap. And let's find our CSS, which I think is in main. Well, I hope everybody is having good weather. It has been really, really cold here for a couple of weeks, like below 0 cold. But today, it's tolerable. The sun is shining. That just makes such a huge difference for me, at least. The sun is shining. It's tolerable. I feel like I can be outside walking the dog and I'm not freezing my butt off instantly. I think the sunshine is it just makes so much difference to just sunshine, daylight. I need sunshine in my life. So I hope you guys are doing okay. Oh, you know what? I think I had this a separate sidebar. Yes, I did. There we go. Latest posts wrap. Sidebar item. We can nest this. She did. She looks amazing. She had her grooming appointment last week. She got a fantastic haircut, a bath. She smells good. She looks good. She feels good. There's always about 24 hours where she's a little bit upset with me that I did that to her, that I betrayed her trust by leaving her someplace. But it's worth it. It's always worth it. She's doing amazing. Okay, container. Yeah, I guess we could just do container, and then we could probably just do container and then give all of these. No, they're not technically full width. Well, but it's full width only in the sense of the actual width, right? Yeah, I mean, why not? Why write more CSS than you have to? And then we can just do the styles sidebar block item. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, she's a good girl. Thank you for asking about her. She's my sweet little pumpkin. There we go. I guess we didn't need to do, they were technically already full width, but this is not wide enough. Let's see what's going on here. Why is that not? Oh, I forgot the dashed border. Plus I think it just needs to be. You know, I bet if I did like white space no wrap. Yeah, I should just do white space no wrap on everything. Yeah, that would fix that too. And then yep, our dashed border. She's like, I had to wait many, many doggy weeks for your return. Yes, because what's it? It's dog years is 7 dog years is equal to, no, 1 human year is 7 dog years. She has no context. She has no context. I just, every time I drop her off, just the look on her face, it just is so heartbreaking. It's just absolute panic. And I just feel terrible because, they can't rationalize. They don't, there's no context. They can't rationalize. They don't get it. So I always feel really bad. But I also know that she's in good hands because we have a good groomer. We have a really good groomer, so. Um so I actually am going to put in we're just going to put in latest posts, and we're just going to chain this with an ampersand. And then we want the sidebar blog item. I didn't use this anyplace else, did I? Nope. Good. So I think we have to, I think we should just flexbox this as well. Yeah. So we'll just do flex contain. Oh, I mean, should we container? Well, I mean, does that even need, I don't even think it needs container at that level. Why do I need flexbox on the parent? Yeah, I don't. I don't need flexbox on the parent. But I should put it on the article. Container. Let's open these. And then do half width on the figure and the blog copy. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Let's just take you out for now. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, up here. Oh, I added, wait. Oh, I didn't add it to the, what am I doing wrong here? Full width, half width, container on the container, container. Oh, it's because image already has a width of 100%. Okay, so sidebar blog item. Let's do this. I don't really want to do this though. Well, I'll just put this in. Defeats the purpose of having a grid if I have to be this fussy with my specificity, but whatevs. Okay, so we've got flex start. Yeah, and that just has a lot of margin there. So sidebar blog title. Blog title. Remove the margin. Well, we might need like a rem on the bottom. There we go. We're getting there. And then let's give our sidebar blog item some margin on the bottom. go. And then let's see what that should be. So this looks like 4:3. I'm going to do an aspect ratio of 4:3. So we'll do an aspect ratio 4:3. And then I'm going to do, position relative. And then I'm going to do position inset is the new thing that I've learned about in the last couple of weeks. Position fit, hang on. Width 100%, height 100%, position fit, cover, wait, object fit. Object fit cover, and then we need a width of 100% and a height of auto. Oh, whoops. There we go. Let's see. Okay. The font weight is bold for that H4. Font size 1 rem. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go smaller than that. Maybe the line height? There we go. We just have to tighten up that line height a little bit. And I actually think this is good that we have to include this flex item here, because I would like there to be more space between the image and the title. See that? So let's see how 47% looks, and then let's tighten up this title. The line height 1.333 for good measure. I didn't notice a huge difference. I mean, it should be doing it for both. No, because the other one had enough specificity, so this is only changing the one on the left. And this has a lot more space on the right. This is so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think the image should be a lot smaller. The image should be a lot smaller, and I kind of feel like the other side, sidebar blog copy, should be a lot wider. So let's make this 40%. And let's make this 55%. I don't think we need this half width in here anymore if we're just going to define these. Don't do that, Angela. Newsletter. I'm trying to be efficient. Oh, there we go. And that brings up this a little bit. I think it could be smaller. Like maybe this could be 35% and this could be 60. I like that 5% in between. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think we just need to... This is getting pushed down because these are wrapping to the third line, which I don't think is the end of the world. So let's just adjust this margin. I can pull up. There we go. And then I think this can be a little smaller. It needs to be all caps and it needs to be a little lighter. Sidebar, blog category. So let's make this font size. I'm just going to do 0.95 rems. Text transform uppercase and letter spacing 1 pixel. And I think we have this dark gray. Is that dark enough for... Is that dark in... I don't remember. I don't remember if that's dark enough for text. I feel like we came up with that because it was dark enough, but I don't remember. Ooh, no, that's definitely not dark enough. Let's... I mean, why did I call that dark gray? There we go. There's the exact color for AAA. There we go. And it's different. It's distinct enough. It can't be that light. That's too light. But this is also an old... I'm going to call this link gray. It's an old mock-up. Accessibility, I mean, people were talking about accessibility in 2016, but it's not like now. So I would like to think that somebody would be way more accessibility minded now. Yeah, I like this. This works. So I wish this text could be a little smaller. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I know that's cheating a little bit. I would rather have it be a smudge smaller than lighter. I know I'm splitting hairs, but... And then let's make sure that this H3 is white space no wrap. There we go. And I'm going to change the color of this to our link gray, which it's technically not a link yet because I forgot to make them links when I was doing the HTML. We will get to it, but this is a little lighter now. I think this is looking really, really good. This is basically done, our subscribe and follow. Oh, no, it's not. We have to put background behind it. All right. These are pretty much already styled. So we just have to add a background. And yeah, knock on wood, I think this will be easy. So social subscribe. All right. We just want to get in here and get the social item anchor. And we'll just give this a background color of, well, again, so I'm going to make a change here, and I'm going to make this background color the darker color, and I'm going to make the SVG fill white, because a tap item or a tap anything that requires a user interaction, this is not accessible. That light gray is not accessible. So we're just going to flip it. We're just going to invert it. So we'll give this, I'm going to give it the color that we just did, which is, what did I call it? Link gray. And then we'll change the SVG to be a fill of white. And then I think we need to do border radius 50%. Nothing happened. Oh, is it fill or is it? Let's see what's going on here. So social subscribe, social item, the anchor, and then the SVG. Oh, this is right here. We just need to chain this together. There we go. That doesn't look that good, does it? Maybe, okay, let's go back to what it was and just do a border. You know, we could still do, could we just do the light background color with a border? Or we could just do nothing. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do any of this because it's not accessible. And if we just leave it the way it is, it matches everything else. So, executive decision. We're just going to leave it the way it is. It matches all of the social icons throughout the site. It matches everything else and it continues to be accessible and it's got its tap target. So this is what we're going to stick with. Hang on one second here. I lost a window. There we go. Okay. So many windows. Okay. Next we need our Instagram. So easy peasy, we just have a nice grid here. And I think for this, we can also put container here. And I think we can put half here. Oh, drat. I keep overwriting myself. I learned something about myself the other day. I have aphantasia. Okay. I don't know what that is. Aphan. A condition where a person has difficulty forming mental images. Aphantasia is when your brain doesn't form or use mental images as part of your thinking or imagination. Interesting. So you wouldn't even know that you had this until I'm guessing somebody asked you a lot of really detailed questions about your thought process. Am I right? Experts don't define aphantasia as a medical condition, disorder, or disability. Instead, it's a characteristic, much like which hand you naturally use to write. People with aphantasia can't picture things in their mind. That's interesting because I rely on being able to visualize things so much, especially when I'm writing HTML. Being able to visualize how things will line up structurally in order to get the correct HTML into place. So they asked you to try and imagine things like a box or a red circle. And you just weren't able to do it without actually seeing them. You couldn't imagine them yourself. So people with aphantasia can't picture things in their mind. They can't create voluntary mental images. They might have visual dreams. They might have difficulty with long-term memory and facial recognition. That's interesting. Um, what is the cause of aphantasia? It's unknown. It's considered a difference in how the mind works. That makes sense. One test for aphantasia asks a person to close their eyes and imagine an apple. They then rate the clarity of the apple on a scale of 1 to 5. A score of 5 where the person can't see the apple but knows they're thinking of it could indicate aphantasia. Yeah, well, I mean, of course you would think it was normal, right? Because you don't know it's any different. You only know what your brain does, right? I mean, that's the thing about the human condition, if you want to call it that. And probably, I mean, if I could speculate, why people aren't more willing to listen to other people's ideas, because we all think that what we think or how our brains work is just how everybody else's brains work, right? So, yeah, you of course you wouldn't know any different because you and your brain, you're together all the time doing all the things, right? So that makes sense that you would think that something like that was totally normal. Well, I think that's fascinating, especially because I mean, you are clearly an experienced developer just based on the things that you tell me in the chat, the way you contribute in the chat. To me, you are a very experienced developer. So I think about how much I rely on being able to visualize things again when I'm writing HTML or CSS. So it's interesting to me that you are as talented a developer as you seem to be without the ability to visualize things. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's super interesting. Let's see here. I mean, can I just take with 100% off? What would happen if I just took this off? Do I need it for anything? Oh, is it because of this, the sidebar item? $34. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that makes a difference. I think we can take that with 100% off. Yeah, that looks right. So now let's get this aspect ratio. This is definitely like 1 to 1. By the way, loving the aspect ratio. Clearly that is something that I'm using now that I know it. And then I had another person in the chat last weekend tell me that when I'm doing positioning, I can just do inset as a shorthand for top left, top, bottom, left, right. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So let's see here. So this is our I'm going to do the Instagram grid image. Change the aspect ratio. Oh, and I think we have to do the positioning also. Oh yeah, I can't change the width, but I just have to add a height of auto. And then our aspect ratio is 1:1. And then our image, which is and then also we need a width of 100% and a height of 100%, and then our object fit cover. All right, and then I think we just need some margin. See how our rem looks. Beautiful. So I think we have about 4% in between. So let's see if we can, what happens if we change this to 4%? There we go. And then let's center this. So I'm just going to say sidebar. Can I just sneak a P tag in here? Could I just do text align center? There we go. And then let's get that underline off of there. Text decoration, none. There we go. Look at that. Look at our adorable little sidebar. Yeah, let's just try to get this footer styled and see if we can get some of the responsive styles done for like the body. I already have this hero pretty much styled for mobile. Somebody was asking me about responsive design. We could tighten this black white space up a little bit. But let's just get this nice and responsive today and get that footer done. And then next weekend I won't be streaming. I realized I didn't stream yesterday either. My goal is that I'm gonna take off like a planned take off the first weekend of each month. So I'm gonna stick with that. And then when we come back in 2 weeks, we're gonna jump right into the search drawer and the navigation. And then we have a lot of pages here. Let's look at some of these pages quick. So we have kind of this alternative masonry layout, which I think I do want to do. And then we've got this inner blog page, which, okay, we have this inner blog page. It's got an author box, related posts, and comments. Yeah, I mean, we could build all of this because I am going to make this open source for anybody who wants to take it. Oh, and technically this is a slider. So yeah, we should definitely do this because I've never built a slider from scratch before, and that's something I want to do. So we'll definitely do this page. This is basically the same thing, just without a slider. So this should be pretty easy to implement, just switching out what this image is. Okay. Here's an inner page with a full width hero. Everything else is the same. See, once we do a couple of these pages, we should be able to do all of these layouts in a weekend. I mean, once we do some of these inner pages and get some of these styles. So yes, we're definitely going to do these inner pages. So this is going to be, I do want to fully build this out. Okay, good. I'm glad I took another look at that. Okay, what's next? Categories. Oh, and I asked ChatGPT about this when I was building it. Let me find that chat because it gave me some really, really good information about how to handle that. I just have to find it now. How long ago did I ask about that? Here we go. No. All right. Well, I can't find it. That's okay. Basically, ChatGPT gave me some advice on this. I asked it, I said, hey, this is a drop down, but this isn't a form. We don't actually submit anything for this. So what is the best way to handle this? And it gave me this markup. Let's see here. That's our footer. So this right here is the drop down. So technically it's not a select. I don't want to use a form element like a select because we're not submitting anything. This isn't form data. It's not a form. So ChatGPT basically said, do a button for the word category, and then on click, you would style a UL to look like a drop down, which I thought was smart. So let's go ahead and style this. So basically, the drop-down menu is going to be hidden behind the button, and then on click that would show. And I had some styles It gave me some styles, but I can't find them. So let's see here. This is our drop down. So we have the drop down button. Background color none. Border 1 pixel, solid, and I'm going to, well, what are our form styles? This is the dark gray. Let's see here. I'm just going to use all of these. No, it should look like, oh, this is close. It should look like select category. So we'll change, the background color is going to be white, but the border can be dark gray. We're not going to do text transform. We're not going to do letter spacing. And we want this to be yeah, and this is why we shouldn't put oh, I only did that on the Instagram grid. I mean, why is this text centered? Text align center is the default value for a button. How did I not know that? Did I know that? Text align center is the default value in the browser for a button. I didn't know that. All right. All right. And then I think we need a caret. So let's do HTML character. Arrows. Do they just have like a caret? Triangle. Here, this is what I want. There we go. It's tiny, but it's there. So here's our drop down button, and then we'll add this span. No, just a span. Hang on, span. And display inline block. Font size, it's going to need to be a little bigger. Vertical line, we'll just do middle. There we go. And I think we just have to flip it and get it over to the other side. So we want to rotate it. Hang on. CSS transition rotate. I think we just need to transform rotate 90 degrees. Transform rotate 90 degrees. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right. And then I guess geez, am I just gonna float this? Really? Float this to the right? I don't like that. Oh yeah. So do I need to flexbox this? Display. Display flex space, justify content space between. We don't need the inline block then. Yeah, I guess that works. We don't need inline block or vertical line. And we can just do align items, center. Yeah. And then why does that seems awfully tall, doesn't it? Maybe just change the line height? I don't think the line height's going to make a difference on this. Oh, it did. Yeah, it did. I'll just change the line height. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think we just need to, so we're gonna style this to look like a drop down, but I'm not gonna do that JavaScript or deal with any of that JavaScript today. I'm just gonna get it styled because I want to move on to the footer and see if I can do some responsive styles today. And then we'll do the click event for that button and triggering that drop down when we do the DOM manipulation, the JavaScript for the search drawer, and the mobile navigation. We'll do all of that at once. There's not going to be, well, there's not going to be a ton of JavaScript on this site. I mean, we'll need Java, so we need JavaScript for the drop down, the off canvas navigation, the search drawer, and those are all just click events, adding and removing classes, and we will let the CSS do as much of the work as possible. And then we will need JavaScript when we build our slider. Right here, we'll need JavaScript for the slider. I don't think there's anything else that we're going to need JavaScript for. Not really anything else. Yeah. And there's nothing in the spec for masonry, so we're going to make that up as we go along. But we've done that before. We've done that in past live streams. So, okay, good. Let's just make that look like a drop down, and then we'll handle the click events when we do our other click events. We can do it all at once. So this is the drop down menu. So we'll say margin 0, padding 0, and then list style type none. And then technically those are links, but I'm not going to style them like links. We'll just make it look like there's a hover when you are choosing something. But technically those are links, and those would link to a category page. So we'll make sure that we name one of our pages like a category page so we can see that actually taking place in the browser. So we'll do, so the drop down menu is the UL. So we'll do LIA, and we're going to say text decoration none, color black, and then we want this to have some padding, so we'll give this a rem of padding. Oh, and we have to make them display block. There we go. Oh, that's a little beefy. We'll do 0.5. There we go. And then so there we go. I think I do want to give this a little margin on the top just to push it down a little bit. So we'll give this 1 rem of margin on the top. There we go. And then I want these to have more padding on the left and right, just to push them in a little bit more. That doesn't seem like very much, does it? No, I guess that's okay. And then let's give these a hover. This is not the effect that I want, though, if I push this down with margin. So let's just let's stick with 1 rem of padding all the way around. Yeah. So, and then let's do background. Color is white. And the color, oh, we already have the color. Okay. And then let's do transition, all 300 milliseconds, ease in, out. And then we'll do hover, active, focus. And again, it's okay to do the focus pseudo class. Just please don't change the outline property of focus. Change anything else, but don't change outline, because we want the browser default, which is kind of that thick blue border when you're tabbing through on the keyboard for accessibility. We still want buttons and links to pick up that browser default blue outline, but it's okay to style the other things to go along with it. So we're going to change the background color to I'm going to do link gray and color white. And we should be able to hover now. Oh, we're not getting our transition. Why not? Oh, right here. What's happening? Milliseconds. That's what. There we go. So when this opens now, when you click, that will appear. So we could even do, for the drop-down menu, I'm going to say display none. And then technically when you click the button, there would be like an active class for display block. So we can test that. Oop, right there. But this, okay, so you see what happened there? It changed the size of the box, which I would expect that, but I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it until I saw it in action. Oh, and Monique is here. Greetings to all. Hope that all is well. I'm doing well, Monique. Thank you. Emilio checked in. Nanokia is here as well. I hope that I hope things are going well for you out on the East Coast. What's your weather like? Listen, I'm from Minnesota, so I'm all about the weather. I'm obsessed with weather. I just want to talk about the weather, especially when the weather is bad and I finally have a nice day. So if you feel like sharing the weather where you are, I'm happy to hear about it. So let's make this I mean, we could just put a fixed height. The way we could do this is this. We could put a fixed height on the drop-down container so it doesn't get bigger when the drop-down, the unordered list is triggered. We could also absolutely position the drop-down menu, and when you do absolute positioning, you take it out of the flow. Both are, they're both aggressive. Anytime you are setting a fixed pixel value, any kind of fixed height on a container, anytime you're doing absolute positioning, those are both, in my opinion, aggressive ways to do things, but they're still totally appropriate. They're absolutely fine if you're comfortable with it. I'm going to put a fixed height on the container because that's just, I'm just lazy and that's just the easiest way to do it. So 176.74. 176.74 per, I love it. So here is the drop down container. 176.74 pixels. There we go. So now we need to make sure that we have borders, that we just have a border around the UL also. And we'll give it a little bit of shadow so you can, it looks like it's lifted up a little bit. So warming up on the East Coast in the 30s, almost like a heat wave to be in the low 30s during the day. Right? Yes. What is it? What is the temperature today? I mean, it's still pretty cold in Minnesota. It's 20, yeah, it's 28 for us right now, which is very tolerable. I mean, it's very tolerable, 28. So, and sunshine. That's the other thing, sunshine. Okay, so we'll give our drop down menu a border. I'm gonna give it the same border that that everything else has. And then let's give it a box shadow. Um, Trying to think. I think it's XY blur spread. 1 pixel, 1 pixel, blur spread, and then RGBA. Black. And I usually do like 0.5. Oh, now we need a little more. Actually, I think 0, 0, and we'll do the blur and the spread 1 pixel instead. Nope. Let me think about what I want. I want X and Y. We just need to soften it up a little bit. There we go. Actually, yeah. So just 1 pixel on, I think it's X. Oh, that looks even better. I want it to be a little bit on the X axis. Well, we'll do that. So I was right. My initial instinct was right. So 1 pixel X axis, 1 pixel Y axis, 0 for the blur and the spread, and then 10% opacity. Just gives it that little something. And I think we need to remove the top border because I can tell that it just looks a little like cramped. So we'll do border left, border right, border bottom. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. That's perfect. Do we need to put a border in between the options? And also, I think they're too spaced too far apart. So let's adjust. Maybe we put our padding on the UL instead, and then we can go back to 0.5 on the anchors. I don't think they need to be that far apart. Yeah. Why is it oh, because I put so maybe instead of padding we do margin. Oh, but margin's going to push it down. That's okay. We can put we just need to put in a background color. don't think that's going to work the way I think it is. Nope, it did. Yeah, no, it didn't. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. So we're going to do 0.5 on the top and bottom, but we're going to do 2 rems on the left and right. No, I did that backwards. Well, this is starting to get really fussy. Okay. This looks so close. I think we just need a little more on the left and right. Okay. This looks good. This looks good. I like it. Okay. Very good. All right, we're on the footer. Let's see what this footer looks like. All right, so our footer is black. There isn't enough contrast between this background color for the icons, the social icons, and the background color of the footer. So we're just going to change the fill of the icons to white, and we're not going to do this circle. Then we also need to make sure, oh, and here's our the ocean. Okay. The footer. All right, sidebar done. The footer. Yeah, those inner pages for the blogs, I mean, a lot of that's done already, right? Because this is done. This header matches the header of the inner pages. This, where we have comments tagged and the social icons on the right, that's done. So we can just move this over to those inner blog pages, and then we just have to do the author box, a 3-card grid for other posts tagged, similar tags, and then comments. So we'll style comments, and then we'll style a form for comments. All right, footer. So let's give you a whole bunch of padding. Let's start with like 5 rems. I actually don't think that's going to be enough. And then we'll just make everything text align center. And then the background color is just going to be black, and we'll make our text color do as many global styles as possible. And yeah, we're getting there. So it applied a lot of our, I copied and pasted this directly from the header. So that's why this looks like this. Let's see what's going on here. There's our social nav. Here's our main nav. It's not technically the main nav. We'll call it the footer. Well, we'll say footer main nav. Footer nav and main nav. Because I think I just want to take those borders out. Border none. Border top, border bottom. Oh, you're going to make me get really specific. Footer nav. Oh, it's irritating. I'm already more specific, so why won't you just take it out? Footer nav, main nav, footer. Oh, I didn't, oh my God, I didn't save it. Okay. Do I need this? No. Okay. Oops. So that the ocean is the exact same style as the header. Main logo, H1 primary logo. So main logo, primary logo. I bet it has some specificity to do with the actual header. No. Primary logo. Oh, I bet I just can't see it is all. Primary logo, color, white. What is happening here? Span, span. Oh, do I just need to make it display block? It's a div. It should already be display block. I mean, it was an H1. in the header, yeah, none of that matters. Oh, maybe it does. Well, but it's a div. Divs are display block by default. That's why they're divs. Why is that totally collapsing? The Okay, so both of those are absolute positioning. Okay. Font size, font size. Oh, that's why. Okay, let's change our markup. So this should not be a span. I must have changed that afterwards, I'm guessing. There we go. Okay, and I think now all we have to do is change this footer primary logo span background color to black. There we go. And then I think this footer needs a wrap. Like the header has a wrap. No, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, it needs a wrap. Well, maybe it doesn't. It just needs to be pushed in. All right, we're done with this. Then we have the social nav. I mean, let's just give this. The UL is display flex. Justify content space between. What if we just center these? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. They still have their 48 pixel tap target. Okay, so the footer social nav. Justify content, center, and then the SVGs need to be a fill of white. Oh, the social nav UL. There we go. And we'll give everything a little more space. So this does need a border on the top. So the border on the top will be 1 pixel solid, one of the grays. So maybe this link, we'll do the link gray because it's pretty, I want it to be faint. But it's supposed to, All right, so this border, I'm fine with this color, but the border doesn't go all the way to the edge, which means we can do padding on the top and bottom, but well, maybe we don't even need padding on the left and right because everything's already pulled to the center. And we can give things, once we do the responsive styles, we can add padding where we need to. Yeah, so that works. And then, all right, so that's done. And then our footer nav, these links, the nav links need to be a different color. Color, white, and I'm going to move this up one. There we go. And then let's just give everything a little bit of margin. So we've got the main logo, the social nav, and the footer nav. Social nav and the footer nav. And we'll just give these all, well, not the footer nav. We'll give these margin on the bottom, like 2 rems. See how it looks. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's like we've done this before. So clearly this text is much, much lighter. I think one of these, didn't we decide that one of these was okay? Let's just try dark gray for the link color. And we'll check it in the browser. I mean, it's a little, it's not white. Let's do it here too. Yeah, we can't go too dark. We just can't go too dark because we want to make sure that we're still accessible. Oof, we have a lot of padding down here. What if I just did 0? There we go. I like it. Well, yeah, it's got quite a bit of padding here. And there's definitely more room here also. All right. Sometimes things just start to feel so fussy, and it's just how it is. Sometimes things are just fussy. There we go. I like it. What do we think? I love it. I love it. So I'm on a 27-inch monitor, which is pretty big, but I still think this looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. I like it. Okay, let's do some basic responsiveness. Uh Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um so I want to read this. Working on a color class that deals with CVD, color vision deficiency color blindness. Wow. Color vision deficiency color blindness. So when you say class, do you mean CSS or JavaScript? I'm just curious. If you are in the mood to expand, I'm curious to learn more about that. Okay. So I think I'm just going to do kind of a basic responsiveness to break down um to break down the main text, because in 2 weeks when we resume, we're going to work on the off canvas navigation and the search, and all of that is sort of wrapped into the header at once. We have some basic responsive styles here for this 3 card area. It could use a little refining, but this is the gist. This is the gist. But let's get this broken down, and I kind of feel like we could do this inside of our variables. So, um I took these out. I took this out. I really just want to put mobile view adjustments breakpoint. I tend to do 960. I feel like this should be getting triggered already, and it's not. Okay, let's see here. So there's the header. Here's the main wrap. Here's the section called blog layout. Okay. So I think it's because I don't have container right there. Oh, is it because, whoops. This is inside container already. Oh, it's because I breakpoint. Wait, yeah, it is right here. So we have breakpoint defined. I don't understand why this isn't triggering if the parent has a class of container. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Oh, JavaScript. That's what I thought. Thank you, Monique. Okay, let's just go back to the main body. I don't know why that's not getting triggered, this breakpoint, unless this is not the correct way to write this. It's probably not the correct way to write that. So but this is the content. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. So here's the image. We already did a media query here. Here's the blog layout. And then we have also the sidebar. And sidebar layout. So these are kind of the top level items. So I'm just going to do at media, max width, 960 pixels, and I'm going to change this to 100%. So there you go. You can see already that this dropped down. So here's our content, and then we have our sidebar. Nice. Okay. So I can tell I'm fine having these cards go edge to edge for the hero, but I do want my content to have some padding on the left and right. So let's go back to main. And we're just going to do a little bit of padding. I'm just going to say 1 rem all the way around, which is 16 pixels. And that works. That is like the perfect amount of padding, in my opinion. Just pushes it into the sides. And then we're going to do the same thing. Let's see here. Here's our sidebar layout. And our sidebar items, I'm going to reduce the padding inside the container and add padding to the outside of the container. So right now the padding is 2 rems. So let's go, well, first of all, let's, so we'll add 1 rem of padding here. And then for our sidebar item, for the media query, we're going to change it to padding 1 rem. There, so you can see the full border now, but you don't actually lose any padding. That is subject to change, but do I want to change that? Yeah, I don't want to change that. I just want to push it in a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to leave it. Okay. So now let's take care of this inner grid, this half width. So we'll delete this. We shouldn't have to write that many media queries to take. This is there's a lot of little fussy things in this layout, but the overall layout is pretty typical. It's a pretty standard layout. So let's just find our half width right here. It's the pagination. Let's see here. The blog item. Oh, I don't think I wrote any separate styles. See, why isn't this working? You know what? I'm just gonna change this. Let's just do @media. Max width 960 pixels. Then we have half, third, fourth. Oh, is it not inside? I think this, oh, it does say container. Container, parent, half width, child. I'm inside the, I'm in, what is, am I in the twilight zone? Oh my God. It's a dash, not an underscore. Okay. Sorry. Heidi's like, what? What's the matter? That's why it wasn't working. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to have to definitely do a little bit of refactoring, but that's fine. A little CSS refactoring is no big deal. See, now look at that. So now we have nice responsive styles. And I'm happy with all the spacing, all the alignment, everything is lining up the way it should be. And we'll do a top to bottom QA to tighten up some of this. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing here. That holds up. This holds up. Look, our Instagram grid now automatically nice. And we'll have to get in here and make sure the footer. Really, it's just this navigation. We'll have to decide what to do with this navigation on the footer. Yeah, they didn't. I didn't even think of that until just now. See, that's the problem when you repeat your navigation in the header and the footer, and that's not something that we really do anymore. I mean, we do, but you know what we might want to do is we could just change the layout in the footer, because right now it's 3 containers stacked top, from top to bottom. We could change the layout so the navigation becomes a list over on the right. So we could play with that a little bit. Yeah. I do like this. I'm going to use this. I mean, that's why I chose this. It'll be open source to anybody who wants to use it on GitHub, but I'm going to use it for something. I have a project in mind and I needed a nice blog layout. So I'm for sure going to use this. And I'm super excited to build out those inner pages, build a slider, have my nice little masonry grid because I love a good masonry grid. And yeah, it'll be super fun to get this built out. So let's go ahead and deploy this. And you know, I don't think that I have a Heroku set up yet. So let me open Heroku and we'll get our dev deployment set up. All right, new app. And I'm just going to call this blog website. Oh, and actually, this is going to fail because we need to, hang on, we need to do our little PHP hack. Yeah. Stop. So we're going to do index.php, and then we're going to rename index.html to home.html. Close some of these. I'm going to do include once home.html. I think that's all we need to do. That's usually all I do. And then we should be able to check the build log. Where are we here? There we go. Nice. All right. Well, this was a good one. This was a good one. Um, Boy, let's just take a look at this responsiveness. Uh-oh, what don't you like here? Oh, object. I did that wrong. Let's fix that. I must be the hero, not the header. Well, I did it twice, didn't I? Object fit cover. I'm surprised. What? I'm surprised that worked. Well, it probably worked because of the absolute positioning. Let's look here. I'm surprised I didn't notice that. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and push that. You know, if we used a style linter, that probably wouldn't happen. Although, was my maybe VS Code was giving me an error and I was just ignoring it? Yeah, if we used a style linter, that probably wouldn't happen. And then let's see if we can. All right, build is finished. All right, fixed. Nice. Good. Good, good, good. And I got the thumbs up from Nano Ikea. Thank you. Thanks, friend. I appreciate it. All right. Well, this was a good one. Yeah, I'm always happy. I'm always happy when we can get things deployed. Yeah. So next weekend, I will not be streaming. It's the first weekend of the month. So I will be back on, I think it's February. Where are you, calendar? February 8th and 9th. And we're going to jump right into this header, search drawer, and navigation. Those are the top priorities for that weekend, to get the search drawer and the navigation and get this header fully responsive. Then we're going to do click events for the categories, so we can show and hide our unordered list. And then we'll decide how we want this footer to look. And that'll be, I'm sure that that's going to take up that entire weekend to do that. And then once we get that done, I mean, it's like 50% of the site is built once you do the header, the footer, and you implement all these styles for the layout. Then we can go in and we can do those additional pages. Yeah, and this will be a really, really nice little site. This will be a really nice little site. So here we are. Well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Um, this was super fun. And let's see here. Where's my chat? Yeah. See you guys in a couple of weeks. Nano Akia, good luck with your, let me see what you call it here. CVD JavaScript class color vision deficiency. If you feel like sharing more about that, I would love to hear more about it. Monique, stay warm over on the East Coast. And I will see you guys. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye bye.